What's going on, Jerome's? We're back taking a gander at PFF Steve's latest mock draft. Now, I really do like Steve. I think that he is one of the best at formulating an opinion, standing by it, even if it stands apart from the herd. And it's great because I think that one of the worst things that can happen, and it's one of the reasons why we take a look at so many mock drafts, is that you get entrenched into groupthink, and that's no good for anyone, right? It's like how every single mock draft on earth has number 14 Vikings, Gregory Rousseau. Now, I mean, maybe it'll happen, but just because everyone says something's going to happen doesn't mean it's true. Like, I still think Yedder Gross-Meadows or AJ Epinesa is a Viking. Nah, not so much. Also, PFF Steve looks like Kenny Powers from Eastbound Down. Woo! I like him, man. So let's dive on in. There's some good stuff in here. Number one, yeah, boring, Trevor Lawrence. Now, I want there to start to be rumors that, hey, maybe Jacksonville will be in on Justin Fields or Zach Wilson. Man, could you imagine if, say, Jacksonville did go with Zach Wilson, where all the pressure that's going to be on that kid coming from BYU, yes, got amazing highlights, but man, like, we're going to take you over Justin Fields and over Trevor Lawrence, who's been the number one overall pick for the last 3 years, but not going to cross that bridge. Trevor Lawrence, no matter what, don't get fancy. Two Jets, though, since Joe Douglas didn't draft Sam Darnold, and I'm not really buying the bluff of, hey, we're going to build around Sam. No, not so much. But Zach Wilson, man, he has a chance to be really, really special. If they can protect him, get him some weapons, I think that he could be the toast of New York. 3, Dolphins. So you could go wide receiver here. You could go DeVonta Smith. You could go Jamar Chase. He also talks about the case of going quarterback here. I don't think they're ready to give up on Tua quite yet. He was the number 5 overall pick from last season, but Penei Sewell put him in with Austin Jackson, this first rounder from USC last season. Nice little tackle duo. 4. So the Falcons, I don't know how he could pass up Justin Fields in this spot because Arthur Smith coming in, new head coach, going to want his own guy. Matt Ryan, 36 years young. How many really good years does he have left? And I think they want to have an opportunity to rebuild around the quarterback of the future. Now, it could be a spot where Matt Ryan is still the man next year, and they have to ride with him because of his with his contract. But Justin Fields will be that quarterback of the future. A local kid, grew up, played his high school ball in the area, so I think that would be a really easy sell. And the fact that Justin Fields can sit for a year, maybe 2, might actually be the best thing for him as he learns and absorbs from Arthur Smith. Yeah, it's a nice little rebuild there in Atlanta. 5. So the Bengals miss out on Penei Sewell, which is really unfortunate. Now, you could go Rashawn Slater here. I wouldn't necessarily be mad at you, but getting Jamar Chase, reuniting him with Joey Burrow. And people forget, Jamar Chase had 20 touchdowns in 2019. Jamar Chase is a bad man. He is really good. But Chase and Higgins together, that's a nice little duo going forward for the Bengals in the Queen City. 6. So the Eagles they're like, okay, so we missed out on Jamar Chase. Like, do we take DeVonta Smith here? Do we take Jalen Waddle here? But yeah, their cornerback room also needs some help. So bringing in Farley and putting him opposite a big play Slay, little play Slay nowadays. But Caleb Farley was an opt-out this year, 6'2", has got long arms, absolute great press man cornerback, could really help them, give them a quick boost in the secondary. 7. Yeah. So Blurg, our worst dreams realized. Trey Lance is headed to the Motor City. Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, it's a brand new day. Matthew Stafford is going to be traded. Now, the draft doesn't factor in where Matthew Stafford goes because that's speculation, so nah. But yeah, no pants for Trey Lance. Probably is going to have to start right away because I don't think they're going to roll with David Bling Blang Blau or Chase Daniel, even though Chase Daniel is the Vikings killer. But yeah, Lance with the arm, the mobility, taking care of the ball. It sucks. It sucks. I think he's going to be a really, really special player. 8, Panthers. So the Panthers miss out on the big 4 quarterbacks. So they're running back with, hey, Teddy. Maybe they bring in Fitzmagic. I don't know, but Teddy needs a tall tight end. So you have Pitts and those receivers and Christian McCaffrey. That is a hell of an offense, man. Like, that is absolutely ready to go. If you can hang on to some of your offensive linemen in free agency as well, it's really, really big. 9. So the Broncos also missed out on quarterbacks, but maybe they get in the Matthew Stafford Derby. I don't think they'll give up the number 9 overall pick, but Micah Parsons. And Micah Parsons is a weird spot because he has top 10 talent, but the bias of teams taking an off-ball linebacker in the top 10, I don't understand it, man. Like, either you got talent or you don't. But Parsons, plop him in the middle of that Vic Fangio defense and let him hunt. He can play strong side linebacker, he can play the mic, he can do all those things. 10. So the Cowboys are they definitely need some freshening up at cornerback. If Kyle Pitts was here, maybe they get a little bit tempted. You could easily also see Rashawn Slater in this spot, maybe even Christian Darrisaw, because offensive line could use some freshening as well. But yeah, that defensive backfield, garbage. Probably a little bit too early for the safeties in this class. But Surtain coming on in, pairing up with Trevon Diggs, a second-round pick last year. Bama at cornerback. It's not bad going forward. 11. So I got the Giants. Danny Dimes needs a deep threat, and Jalen Waddle. And I actually think this is a realistic scenario where Chase goes early, Jalen Waddle with that straight line speed as well as great route running ability goes before DeVonta Smith. I think heading into the 2020 season, I think that Waddle was seen as the better pro prospect than DeVonta before Waddle got hurt and DeVonta had himself an amazing Heisman season. But I think there is legit concerns about DeVonta Smith's size, even though he's shown that he can stay healthy playing in the SEC. But I mean, DeVonta declined to weigh in at the Senior Bowl because he's looking to add a little bit more weight, a couple more pounds before the pro day. But yeah, I think teams will go with Waddle's speed, and I think that he might be a great spot with the Giants, where Danny Jones, meh. But Saquon hopefully can get a couple of guys out of the box with Jalen Waddle's straight line speed. Let's get it on. 12. Niners. So they miss out on quarterbacks, but like we said, I mean, Matthew Stafford may end up in San Francisco, even though I'd hate to see it. Whatever. But yeah, J.C. Horn coming on in from South Carolina. They're going to lose Richard Sherman in free agency. And Horn, I mean, if this draft didn't have Caleb Farley, I think J.C. Horn would be getting a lot more hype because special player, press man specialist, replaces Sherman as they rebuild that defense. 13. So Chargers going O-line. I think they probably would have taken J.C. Horn in this spot if he would have fell, but Rashawn Slater makes a ton of sense. Safe pick. Play him at left tackle, play him inside a guard, maybe even play him at center. It's all a possibility. 14, so the Vikings go edge rusher, but it's not Gregory Rousseau. And we've talked about here a bunch. If I had my choice, if both Paye and Rousseau were on board as they are in this simulation, I would have a tough time passing up Kwity Paye. I really would, because I think that he is a phenomenal elite athlete. He's a quick penetrator. He gets the edge. He's got size. He can set the edge. He can hold up against the run as well. And I think that, yeah, it would be fun to gamble on the upside of Rousseau, but you have an already solid player that would be a plug-and-play starter day one for the Vikings. And if you don't go with Darrisaw, who's still on board, if you don't go with DeVonta Smith, even though that'd be a ton of fun, DeVonta Smith with Jefferson and Thielen, woo, let's go. Or Barmore's on board as well. Yeah, I think Kwity Paye is the way to go. 15. So the Patriots miss out on quarterbacks. They could also land Matthew Stafford. But, I mean, how does the world let this happen? How does DeVonta Smith, an absolute dynamic playmaker, just end up in New England? And they're going to utilize his skill sets to the hilt, and he's going to be phenomenal. He's quickly going to be a Pro Bowler, quickly going to be an All-Pro, and that's just gross. I don't like it. 16 Cardinals. So Jason Oweh coming in from Penn State. Physical freak upside. Him and Chandler Jones being paired together. Plus, you utilize Isaiah Simmons however you want to do, and yeah, they'll be able to get after it in the NFC West. 17, the Raiders, Christian Barmore. Now, would they have taken Oweh if he had been on board? Maybe. Could you see them taking Gregory Rousseau in this spot? Maybe. But Barmore is the first defensive interior taken off the board. Now, Barmore, redshirt sophomore, just still scratching the surface of that potential. I think that his college football playoff run against Notre Dame and Ohio State was really the coming out party, and his best football is ahead of him. But, I mean, man, I like the Raiders pick in this spot because you've seen around the division, like if you can get quick penetration in the middle on Mahomes, you can shake him, like you can rattle him, you can get after it. That's how the Raiders pulled that upset earlier in the season at Arrowhead. So Barmore in the middle, man. I like it. 18, Jeremiah Usu-Koromora. So the Dolphins, they picked up Penny Sewell with their first pick. 18, they're picking up their money backer for that Flores defense, kind of guy you need in a sub-package league. 19, Darrisaw. So they miss out on the top four quarterbacks. Mac Jones is still on board, but like we've said, I think that they are going to re-sign Taylor Heineke because of his connection with Rivera and the Turners. Maybe because Martin Mayhew's in Washington, given his connection with Matthew Stafford. Maybe. But they haven't really replaced Trent Williams. Darrisaw, plant him right in, keeps him in the region, the pride of Virginia Tech. That's a really smart pick. 20. So the Bears, I think the Bears 100% would have taken Darrisaw if he was there, but Bateman, In terms of like a 1-for-1 replacement of Allen Robinson, similar style, similar size, similar body type, I think Bateman is a really nice pickup here. Now, Tony would be Kadarius Toney would be a great pick. Rondale Moore would be really fun here as well. But I think just a big-bodied, outside-the-numbers type guy at the X, and Bateman is going to be strong at the point of attack, is really smart in the NFC North. 21. So you got the Colts, who did not get Matthew Stafford in this situation, but Mac Jones coming out of Bama. This is a playoff team. Like, they made the playoffs with Phillip Rivers. They have a great defense, and I think Mac Jones in this spot, being able to hand off and distribute, this would be a great location for him if he does have to start right away, which in this scenario, I think that he would. 22. Titans picking up Trevor Mori coming out of TCU. Now, this is a great spot because even though Tennessee needs a lot of help, you could use some freshening. Well, no, you're good on the offensive line. But D-line, minus Jeffrey Simmons, Daquan Jones might leave. You need some edge rush help as well. You could certainly freshen up the linebackers. But, I mean, Trevor Mori in this spot, pairing him up with Kevin Byard, who had sort of a down season but is still one of the best safeties in the league, that's fun. That's fun, man. 23, you got the Jets stopping Gregory Rousseau's draft day slide. So the Jets, you got not Trevor Lawrence. You got Zach Wilson, nailed it. And you got Gregory Rousseau, and he's the perfect athletic project for that front seven, where for the Vikings, who are in win now mode in 2021 and they need a day one contributor, pay makes sense. Whereas Rousseau can go to the Jets. They're probably a couple years away, even though they got their guy Zach Wilson. And that front seven is nebulous, and they're going to have new leadership under Salah. But, man, that's a lot of fun. Quinn Williams getting after it. Rousseau. Let's go. 24. Asante Samuel Jr. Is the fourth cornerback off the board, I believe. Yeah, but Asante Samuel, smaller guy, but a zone aficionado, would fit in perfectly with what the Steelers want to do. And with Joe Hayden getting a little bit up there, they could use some refreshing in that cornerback room. Now, would they have taken Mac Jones if he was there? Probably. If they would have taken one of the higher-end offensive line prospects if they were there, probably. But, yeah, I think it's time for a reboot in Pittsburgh. 25, Jaguars. So you got Trevor Lawrence. You got some nice. Kadarius Toney. Wow. This is gross. So you got Toney, you got Laviska, you got DJ Chark, you got weapons galore for Trevor Lawrence. But now the Jaguars have a ton of picks. Like, they have the Houston Texans second-round pick, and they also have the first pick at the top of the second round. So you got to double and triple down offensive line now. But Toney is really a special player and really fun. So you can spread it out with Lawrence. He's got weapons. Getting Toney and Laviska going. DJ Chark on the outside. I mean, that's fun, man. That's a lot of fun. 26, Nick Bolton coming on Mizzou. So Kevin Stefanski gets his Eric Kendricks for his Browns defense. So I like that one. 27, even though edge, more pressing needs since Olivier Vernon's going to be deuces. But 27, the Ravens. So wide receiver for Lamar. And Rondale Moore is just a lot of fun. So you can use him as a utility player. You can use him as a gadget player. Put him in the backfield. Put him in the slot. Put him outside. Just put him wherever. Him, Hollywood, Boykins is stepping up. And also JK2K is pretty damn good in that backfield. You got weapons all over the place, man. I like it. 28, Saints, Pat Freiermuth coming out of Penn State. Now, if this draft didn't have Kyle Pitts, I mean, Freiermuth would be getting a lot more hype. And you see from the mocks, like, he does vacillate. Sometimes he's a late first-round pick. Sometimes he's not even in, the top 50. But Freiermuth, he's a big body, great hand, solid athlete, very good inline blocker. He's probably a more well-rounded traditional tight end than Pitts is, even though Pitts is just an absolute matchup nightmare. And the Saints, so they missed out on Mac Jones. Could they pull the trigger on Kyle Trask here? Maybe, but yeah, I think Freiermuth at this point, even though they do need some help at linebacker, they could use some bodies, some new blood in the secondary as well. But 29 Packers. So this pick for a long time has been either linebacker or wide receiver. But with Kevin King, a free agent, as well as Kevin King playing like Kevin King. Yeah, Tyson Campbell coming on in. He's got the length, solid athlete coming in and replacing Kevin King 1-for-1 opposite of Jair. And hopefully Jair will leave in free agency. Would love to see it. 30, so Bills picking up Elijah Vera Tucker. Tough, hard nose. Will do great in cold weather. Really like his style. Played some tackle this year for USC, but is going to be a guard. Potentially could replace John Feliciano. Could leave in free agency. To the Vikings? 31, Aziz. Damn it, Bucks. I mean, really, you go to the Super Bowl, probably going to win the Super Bowl, maybe win the Super Bowl, and then you're going to let Shaq Barrett leave in free agency. Then you get a nice little comp pick, and then you just pick up Aziz. Great. I hate it. And the 32. Got the Chiefs picking up Elijah Molden, safety out of Washington. Now, in that division where you're matched up with Justin Herbert, probably going to be your rival for power for quite some time, matching up as you go 5 wide and having a bunch of unique players in that secondary makes a lot of sense. So Molden plays corner, plays slot, plays safety, does all those things. So Honey Badger 2.0 tossed into that secondary. It's really a good fit there. Dude's still on board. So Jalen Phillips coming out of Miami. Could you see him going to the Browns? Maybe. Etienne out of Clemson. Of course, this is PFF, so no running backs were taken in this production. But Etienne, Najee Harris also didn't go. Tevin Jenkins, Sam Cosmi, Leatherwood, Mayfield, the tackles. Also, Leatherwood could play some guard in there. Could be in the late first round mix. Joseph Asai coming out of Texas, who I really like. I thought maybe Kyle Trask sneaks in. Maybe. Nah. Tutu Atwell, Wyatt Davis, no matter what, as well as Davion Nixon, the defense tackle from Iowa, didn't make it. Carlos Basham is going to be at the Senior Bowl this week. Pride of Wake Forest, as well as Dylan Moses, the linebacker from Bama, did not get selected in the first round. But if this ends up how it is for the Vikings at 14, and they do have that choice between Kwity Paye, Rousseau, maybe even DeVonta Smith is on board, maybe even Darrisaw is there, and it's a realistic scenario where I would be perfectly fine if they stick and pick with Paye or Darrisaw. I would understand Rousseau. Meh. I would really like DeVonta Smith, even though I think Vikings fans would go nuts. But this is a clear trade down spot as well. But also, it does take 2 to tango. You do need people who are motivated to come up for a certain player, and other teams could also see the board the same way. It's like, oh, there's a bunch of dudes that we all like, but yeah, I'm not going to be trading up and getting draft capital to take one of 5 guys that I like that could easily fall to me a little bit later on in the draft. So, yeah, but Kwity Paye, I think Kwity Paye, opposite of Danielle Hunter, rebuilding that defensive line. Maybe you play James Lynch. I don't know. There's lots of options. Maybe day 2, you pick up some 3-tech help. Maybe you pick up Onwuzurike, trade up and maneuver and go get him. Maybe you get Darius Stills. Maybe you get Ali McNeil. Maybe you get Davion Nixon is still on board. Let's go. Let's get after this thing. I like it. But your thoughts, our thoughts on PFF Steve's thoughts on his first mock draft, let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work, pull some of Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.